Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky, and I am a living Christ. Today I should like to spill the beans. I have been speaking to you for 25 years. I've been rejected by you. Now, who are you? Do you even know? Who am I? Do you know that? Oh, I say that I am a living Christ, and that outrages you. Why? Because you have been trained like a robot, like a puppet, dangled by the strings of puppeteers, legislators, leaders, judges, lawyers, educators, intellectuals. What do all these people have in common? They're all based totally in their dualistic intellect. They have their power from their intellectual acumen. And they control ignorant people who think they're smart. And that's the ultimate sham, the ultimate swindle. They're educated to think they're smart. But what they are based in is the lowest level of consciousness open to mankind. They're intellectuals. You're an intellectual. You're guided by words. Dead words. Words that are given definitions. You're led by inanimate words given life through illusion. What's an illusion? An illusion is a fantasy, not real. It's not true. It's not holistic. What answers that description? Are you ready for it? Civilized life. Dummies. You think you are living, but you're living a fictional characterization that is given you by a fictional government that you, the living man and woman, create. Now, how dumb do you have to be to create an institution, a fictional institution, and then have that fictional institution rule you through words and calling you a fictional person? Yes, if you're civilized, you're a fictional person. You're not a real person. You're not a natural person. You're not a living man. You're not a living woman. You are a person, tantamount to a corporation. Another illusion. You see, all of the power of hell relies upon illusion, fictions. And you, the fictional person, are bound to fictional rules called laws, made by a fictional government, created by men who are fictional persons. You know, the key word to all this is fiction. What does fiction mean? Not real. Imaginary. It's a fantasy. Well, that's your life. Oh, you think it's very real. You celebrate birthdays, the beginning of the fiction. Actually, it's the beginning of life itself, which is soon turned into a fiction through institutional words, laws. That's what government does. And how does a living entity, a male or a female, a potential man or a woman, how are they turned into fictional persons? Through birth certification, through social security, through driver's licenses, through satanic contracts made between fictional persons, the fictional person of government and the fictional person of you, the living man, who consents to be a person, who abides by the rules set forth by the fictional government. What you have done is you've consented to living the rest of your existence in hell, which is fictional, not real, because it has a beginning and it has an end. The end of hell, for you, the vast majority of you, is death. And that too is a fiction, because you're the intelligence, the infinite intelligence that is of the non-dualistic nature found in the subconscious mind, the mind of God, the mind of the Creator. And that creative source resides in heaven, in a non-dualistic natural world. Not in the fictional civilized world. That's hell. And you've chosen to live there by your consent, by your contract. How dumb are you now? Millions of you are writhing in anger and frustration at the words of this living Christ. You're insulted. Your feelings are hurt. Why? Because you're split. You're divided. You're in conflict, whether I point it out or not. You are in confusion, total confusion, and you must make up your mind. What does that mean? How can you make up a dualistic mind? Impossible. You just make a better choice, but you're still in hell. That's the reality for all of you. Now, I've spoken to you now for 25 years, and you reject me. Why? Because you feel there's strength in numbers. But 1,000,000,000 dummies does not make up one intelligent, living Christ. And I'm proof of that. And you're proof of that. Why have you not destroyed me? Why has not the government of the United States destroyed me? They've tried for 25 years. Why have not the courts of the United States and the state courts destroyed me, or put me in jail, or taken my life? They've tried. They tried to imprison me for 40 years and it blew up in their face. Why? Because I am truth. I am a Christ. And they are fictional liars. That's what an attorney is. He's a liar. That's what an actor is. He's a liar. That's what a politician is. He's a liar. That's why a priest is. He's a liar. That's why an intellectual, one divided in consciousness, is broken, split in two or more, fragmented. He too is a liar. The fact is, you're all liars because you're all pretenders. You're caught in pretense. You're in debt. Your very livelihood has been taken away from you. How? By illusory shutdowns, by illusory diseases that do not exist, but for the consciousness that adopts them as being true. Billions of you have lost your jobs. You're losing your homes. You've lost your ability to navigate this world because your finances have been damaged. The financial market is going to collapse. Your money is becoming worthless. If it is not worthless now, because it's all fiction, living and supporting a fictional world, a civilized world. Now, I understand I'm speaking in a public vein at this time. And so I'm speaking in fiction. I'm using words so that you may understand me, but you can't grasp that which is beyond words, which is true, the energy that allows for life to manifest in a moment of the eternal now. You live in the past or you live in the future. And those are all based in illusory thought. Fictions. You're fictional characters. You're not real. You go to court, and the court will not talk to you if you're a natural man. You've got to be a fiction. You've got to consent to be a fiction for the court to have jurisdiction over you. Now, they push you around. They threaten you. They will kill you because of your ignorance of who you are. And when you die, the fiction dies. You don't die. You are eternal. You are infinite. You are, plain and simply, you're God. You're the God of your own life, and your life only. The fiction enters into it when thought, the pretense of the me and the you, takes over. And the conflict begins, the intellectual struggle, the strife. You've just entered civilized life. And you're violent. You want peace, but peace eludes you. You never have peace. Or you may have moments of the illusion of peace, the idea of peace, but that's not peace. That's merely the representation, the fictional representation of peace, and for you, that's enough. But what's the opposite of that? Conflict. And that too is a temporary, divisive, opposing energy force of peace. And so you protest. That protest is a right. You're told that. You only have rights in hell. fact is that you are what is, the totality of that which is. You have rights when you are almost, but not quite, that which is. And that's a fiction. And that can be controlled by other fictions, other leaders, other politicians, other kings, queens, fantasy positions of living men and women who have sold their souls for power and gained that power in a fictional world. Well, that's what I have been trying to talk to you about, and you have rejected it roundly. And so now I invite all to join me on patreon.com, which is a private manner of a forum that will allow me to speak to those who want to hear the truth, who recognize the truth when they hear it. But they have no way of practicing that because the world that they are in is a fictional world. And fictions don't honor truth. They only honor other counterfeit truth, which are fictions. That's your world. You're all counterfeit. Living men and women. You're the living dead person. Sorry to break it to you, but that's the fact. That's the truth. Now, are you doomed forever to remain where you are? Not by a long shot. Not as long as this living Christ is manifested as this man speaking to you. Now, I'm not my body. I'm not my mind. I have made that very clear. But then neither are you. And that, apparently, I have not made clear. But you and I are the creative source of life. You in your life, and I in my life. I am not the God of your life. I'm the God of my life. You, in turn, are not the God of my life. You are not the leader of this man. You are not the king of this man. You are not the president of this man. You are not the politician of this man. For I regard all those as fictional ideas, persons. I don't deal with the personal world. I am living in the natural world. But I am communicating with those of you who are in the fictional world. That makes me in your world, but I am not of it. Another Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, some 2,000 years ago, made the same statement. But you see, truth is eternal. It does not change because of time. The living Christ is eternal, and it's within the spirit of each and every one of you. But it is far overshadowed by your belief systems, by your thoughts, by your desires, by your wants. That's the clamor of the intellect of a fictional person. Wake the hell up. Join this living Christ on patreon.com so we can talk openly, unbridled by satanic rules. There's your ticket out of hell. Take it, remain where you are, and suffer the consequences of the coming financial collapse and the effort to turn you into a world slave, unable to find any release. You can walk out of that anytime you want. And now is as good a time as any. What's keeping you?